Hello, this is Mark Denham, radio presenter, audio producer, podcaster, and voiceover. Today's audio journey, part 46, is about a question that I saw on a forum, which I am a member of. Now, this question asked how to normalize many files in one go and was suggesting the best external software to do that. And the truth is, you don't need external software to do that. You can do it and much more within Adobe Audition. How do you do it? Well, you go to the batch process window, which can be found if it's not already open by selecting it from the window tab. And you'll see here, I have a number of songs loaded in. These are some old songs. And let's say that I wanted to add these to my radio playout system. There's obviously processing on the radio, but I would like them to be as close to the same level when they hit the processor as possible. So I would achieve that in one of two ways. I could either go in now and select these songs, and I could go into the match loudness window and drag them down and make all the audio the same perceived loudness level. Or if I just wanted to normalize them, I could go into batch process, select all of these files, drag them down here. Then if you look at export settings, you can prefix or postfix the name so you don't overwrite the original file. You can then choose to overwrite existing files, save them the same location. You can choose what format you want to export them in. Sample type, again, you can change that if you want. Same as source, same as source, same as source. Why not keep it that way? Format settings, your bitrate and everything. That's all in there for you to choose. You can remove the files from the panel upon completion. You can also close the files upon completion as well. So those are your export settings for your batch processing. Now, what you do to normalize them is you go in here and you can see here, normalize to minus 0.1 decibels, and you click run. Off we go. All of these now will normalize, and as you see, they're disappearing from the batch process window. And if you have a look now, they're all peaking at minus 0.1 decibels because that's what you have normalized them at. That one was a very quiet one, if you remember, very, very quiet. Again, you can go in here, and if we select them all, drag them down, you can now normalize to minus 3 decibels. Perhaps that's what you want to normalize to, and we'll click run again. Obviously, be careful if you're doing this, because every time you save as MP3, you are degrading the quality slightly because it's a lossless format. But these are just copies of the songs that I'm using. You'll see now, all of these songs now peak at minus 3 decibels. And that is what we're doing here with the batch process window. Now, it doesn't have to be like that, for example. Let's say that I close all of those files. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here and I'm going to drag in a couple of voiceovers. Should we drag in a couple of voiceovers and see what we can do with that here? Okay, so I've got a couple of voiceovers here. And these are just raw voices. I can play these. I couldn't play the others because they were copyrighted tunes. These are just raw voices for commercials that I've recorded at some point in time. It's on Sunday, the 30th of June, at its new home of Black Park Country Park. Right. There we are. And then this one as well. You're listening to the All Day Breakfast with Sam and George. There you go. So those are some voiceovers that I have recorded. Again, we could decide, we want all those at the same level. So we could just drag them in and we could normalize them. But the beauty of that is, let's say that I wanted to add some crazy effects. Let's say I'd recorded a whole load of sweepers and I wanted to add some crazy effects to all of them. Now I could go in and I could process each one. But what I could do here is I could go into favorites, start recording favorite. Okay, so now we're going to record a new favorite. We're going to the effects rack and we will add, let's say, a bit of amplitude and compression. How about that? We'll add some amplitude and compression to this. No, I'll tell you what we'll do. We will normalize to minus 0.1 decibels first. Then we will go in and we will add, let's say, a bit of filter and EQ. We'll add my EQ onto here. So if we go down to there, we'll take that off because we don't need to worry about that. Let's apply that. And then we'll go in here. And we'll add maybe some modulation and chorus. We'll just add a default 2-voice chorus. And then we'll just add a little bit of reverb to that as well. It doesn't really matter what effects you add in here, by the way. It will be processed in the order that you add it in. So we'll add in some studio reverb and we'll just have a little bit of reverb on there. Okay, so now we apply those effects, bing, bang, bong, and we stop recording the favorite, and we will call this test favorite. There we are. Now, what you can see here is that we have actually we have applied that to that voice already. So I'm going to undo all of the processing that we did there. And then what I'll do is I'll go into the batch process window, and you can see now both voices will be affected by the test favorite that we've just recorded. So run that. They're only small files, so it won't take very long. Now, if we click in Run Wexham,
and on Sunday the 30th of June, and it's new.
If we click on Sam and George,
you're listening to the all-day breakfast.
And that's what you can do with batch process in Adobe Audition. You can add as many effects as you like by recording a favorite. That favorite you could then apply to any file that you wanted to apply it to. Let me just find one more voiceover here. I'll see if I can find one more voiceover here. And there we are. There's the folder. Let me have this one voiceover here. We'll take that one and drag it in as well. You can see that this has got no processing on it. Aha, I didn't want that. That's the actual finished one. Where's the raw one? Let's try this one. That'll do. There we are, right?
At Slough Children's Services Trust, we need more people like Sarah to come forward.
So you can see now I can either apply that favorite from here, test favorite, and it's applied.
Our Children's Services Trust.
Let's undo that. Again, I could, if there was more than one of them, drag it down to the test favorite, to the batch process window, and apply it now. Obviously, that's pointless if there is only one of them. But what that's done now is...
At Slough Children's Services Trust, we need more people like Sarah to come forward and offer a safe and loving home to vulnerable children.
Now, that sounds awful in terms of the voiceover that was done, but that's just a demonstration. You can go in by recording a favorite, start recording favorites. You can apply as many effects as you want, a bit of filter and EQ, modulation, reverb, amplitude and compression. You can, as long as you line them up in the right order, and we've been through this before in the audio journey, as long as you line them up in the right order, you can then save that favorite as whatever you want to call it. And then when it comes to batch processing, all you have to do, if you have, say, a ton of sweepers that you have recorded and you all want them to have maybe a bit of EQ, a bit of compression, perhaps a bit of chorus on there and a bit of reverb, you could create a favorite for that. Record, say, the 10 sweepers or whatever it is, drag them down into batch process, and then you can apply them all. Hopefully that is of help to you. It's fairly simple. If you want to normalize, if you want to do anything, batch process in Adobe Audition is your friend. As always, you can subscribe for more videos, and I'd love it if you did. Don't forget to tick the bell as well, and you'll be notified when they go live. If you have any questions, markdenham.com. The entire audio blog is there, the entire audio journey, all 46 parts to date. And you can, of course, ask any questions using the contact tab on the website. Or if you're watching this on YouTube, you can stick a comment below with any questions, and I will get back to you. Hope this has been of help to you as always. Use it for fun. Go make some amazing audio.